good to go.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Saline City Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. Will the recording secretary please call the roll?
Young.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Bostic is absent. Morrow.
Here.
Gearbaugh.
Here.
Heft. Here. Lafort. Here.
Staff present tonight are Recording Secretary Ketnick, Community Development Director Atkin is out. I do have one update to the agenda, and this is just housekeeping. There are no applicants from tonight because this is a public hearing, so I'm going to just strike that out underneath of public hearing number 2507. Other than that, are there any other amendments to the agenda?
Move to approve then as amended, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion on the table to approve the meeting minutes of March 26, 2025 as amended or submitted?
So moved as submitted.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Public comment. Under the Open Meetings Act, any citizen may come forward at this time and make comments. The person is requested but not required to state their name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Seeing no public comments, we will open public hearing number 25-07, ordinance number 876, an ordinance to amend Appendix A, Section 2.01, rule applying to text, Section 2.02, definitions A through B, Section 2.04, definitions F through K, Section 2.07, definitions S through W of Article 2, Section 5.03, accessory structure of the City of Saline zoning ordinance. In our packet, we had a report dated April 4th, 2025 from Community Development Director Atkin. In his absence, would you like to make a comment?
Sure. As you can see, according to his memo, some of the things that he added, including just expanding rules, clarification, consolidating some sections. If in your packet you're looking at the red line version, so this is page 6, Section 2.02, where it's referencing accessory dwelling unit. That's the only section that he added. Eliminated some definitions in Section 2.04, added some definitions in 2.07, and 5.03 for accessory structures. Went through and cleaned up standards and regulations. So,
And Madam Chair, I'm sure you're aware of this, but the issue was discussed and not debated, but I guess discussed and considered at the previous meeting. So the 4 of us who were present did have an opportunity to review this proposal, not in its totality, but a bulk of this at our meeting 2 weeks ago.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there a motion on the table to acknowledge the receipt of the report dated April 4th, 2025 from Community Development Director Atkin?
Moved.
second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion to open the public comment period at 7:04 p.m.?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. All public comments will be heard, a limit of 3 minutes per person.
Madam Chair, noting that there are no public comments, assuming that there were none provided to the recording secretary in writing in advance of today's meeting, I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Comments, questions from Planning Commission members? There was a lot of discussion I saw on the last video, but anything that stands out as part of the red lines that we received this week?
Note for the record, we appreciate Mr. Atkins' work on this in the 2-week period. We also appreciate the feedback we received from a variety of public citizens and private citizens on this matter over the past few years, actually. I think it's good.
Any additional comments? Yes, Ms. LaFord.
Well, I actually don't have really much in the way of substantive comments, but I found a lot of like nits that I think are gonna need to be fixed, and I'm not sure if it makes sense to actually like walk through all of them, or like red line a red line, or red line a clean copy to like provide to people, because there's just a lot of things that are like, there's some inconsistencies and some errant commas and some definitional things that just need to be fixed.
Not substantive?
Not substantive. Or like, I had a couple of just questions that the way that things were formatted gave me a question of something substantive. I couldn't tell in section 2.07 in the definitions of the solar energy system, whether the last sentence under that is the sale or distribution of excess available energy to an authorized public utility for distribution was supposed to be relevant only to the personal scale SES or to SESs more broadly because of the way it was worded. And then that might be the only, I think that might be the only, oh, and then I didn't really understand, and then just because maybe because I wasn't here also, was under the very end, G, under the solar panels ground mounted, that second provision where it says we're located within 10 feet of the side, that the said area shall be landscaped with evergreen plantings, equal of height to the peak of the structure and space no greater than 5 feet on center. And I wasn't sure if that meant, I just wasn't sure what that meant, I guess, or what that would, how somebody would, if somebody wants to just make that clearer for me, I don't.
I guess, Madam Chair, if I may, I would recommend perhaps our recording secretary, I know she took copious notes of those comments, and she can have Mr. Atkins follow up with the board, specifically Commissioner LaForte, in the next couple days, probably before close of business on Friday. And I would recommend, if I may be so bold, if there were grammatical, typing, spacing issues, if you wanted to send those directly to Mr. Atkins, sure. We can get those modified before it goes to City Council.
Yeah, I can do that in the next couple of days.
Thank you. Mr. Gearbolt?
Yeah, one of the things I was missing from here is anything associated with wind energy or any of that issue because of turbines and those type of things being placed. I don't know if those are, how those were going to be defined and identified. I've asked Chris about that previously and don't see it as being mentioned anywhere in here. As for the other request, I would like to have all those issues that you give to Mr. Atkins sent to us, also copied. One of my concerns is with those kinds of concerns, just going forward to council may still have some substance and concerns to it. So I think those issues you brought about are considerable. So.
Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Just hearing what Ms. LaForte had said and Mr. Gearbolt, with that, is it the commission's intent to postpone this until a subsequent meeting with the changes, since, just wondering what everybody's thinking.
I would recommend to move forward with recommending these. Seem like minor changes that can be modified between now and when it's presented to City Council. Again, this body is simply recommending.
Okay. Mr. Gearbolt, are you okay with that?
Again, we don't have Mr. Atkins here to discuss those issues, who is the hired expert to do that. And that's part of our responsibility, is to make sure that this document, before it goes forward, is accurate. And I'm not sure what the level of that concern would be based on his opinion.
Okay. Would anybody like to make a motion to recommend or to postpone to a date certain of May 14th, which I think is that enough time? That's when the next public hearing for ordinance number 877 will be postponed to, or do we think that Mr. Atkin and him not being here could turn this around in 2 weeks?
I do know the one thing that will happen is council will review it, and if it needs to be sent back to this body, it can be.
Okay.
I think based on what I've heard tonight from my colleagues, 2 weeks is more than enough time. I would assume he'd be able to rectify and address these concerns within the next few business days.
Okay. So is there a motion on the table to postpone to a date of April 18th, which would be the next no, I'm sorry, today is the 9th. No, Mayor Morrow's saying 2 weeks from now.
No, I'm saying he should be able to, I would not be amenable to, I'm sorry for any confusion
no.
or ambiguity. I would not be in favor of postponing.
Okay.
I would think that the concerns that have been articulated this evening could easily be addressed via email. Minor corrections, modifications can be made. This body is simply recommending, and to Mr. Gearbaugh's point, if there was ambiguity or there were issues that the city council wanted to have vetted further, they could always send it back to planning commission.
Okay. And is there, would somebody like to make a motion for this? To recommend to Saline City Council to adopt or not adopt?
I would say move to recommend to Saline Council to review the new ordinance. Without knowing the other changes, potentially, I'm not pushing to adopt it. I mean, we could move it forward, but
It can simply be a motion to recommend to Saline City Council consideration of ordinance number 8876. You actually made the motion.
I'll make it.
Yeah, you made the motion.
Okay, so the motion is
to recommend to council
to recommend to
Consideration.
and to consider.
consider. Okay. So the motion on the table is moved by Mr. Gearbaugh, seconded by Mr. Morrow, to recommend to Saline City Council to review and consider the new ordinance 876, amending Appendix A, Section 2.01, rule applying to text, Section 2.02, definitions A through B, Sections 2.04, definitions F through K, 2.07, definitions S through W of Article 2, in Section 5.03, accessory structures in the City of Saline zoning ordinance. Good? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Public hearing number 25-08, ordinance number 877, an ordinance to amend Appendix A, Section 520, accessory dwelling unit of Article 5 of the City of Saline zoning ordinance.
Move to postpone.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Seeing no discussion on
I actually
the,
have one item
Yes.
very quickly, Madam Chair. This would be a question for the recording secretary, Danica. Do we know the motion to recommend consideration based on our public noticing requirements? Are you working off the assumption that this will be considered by City Council at their next regular meeting, which is on, I think it's the 21st,
Yes.
so in 2 weeks' time? Yeah, 21st. Very good. That's all I had. And with that, Madam Chair, I move to excuse the absence of our colleague, Secretary Treasurer Scott Fosdick.
I'll second that. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn at 7:13 PM?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much.